is not going to get any further than a page 3 lead. A hit and run isn't even going to merit a couple of paragraphs in the stop press column. But give me a good juicy rape, preferably with a dose of over-the-top violence, and we're talking page 1, possible splash. The one I had in my notebook was a cracker of a tale. Mother and daughter in a caravan on a site just outside Brighton. Husband tied up and forced to watch before being beaten over the head with one of his own golf clubs. 2 youths, one black, one white. One of them carrying a shotgun, the other a kitchen knife. Jesus, the story had everything. Sex, violence, a police warning that they could strike again. The only thing missing was an orphaned dog. So long as the Prime Minister didn't call a snap election or die of AIDS, it was going onto page 1. I'd picked up the story myself from a pal on the Serious Crime Squad, and I talked my way into the hospital room where the daughter lay bandaged and on a drip feed. It had been easy. Okay, so I might have given the orderly the impression that I was with the police and not just a nosy hack. But I hadn't actually lied. I would have done, but I hadn't had to. I'd just said that we had a few more questions, and that and the fawn raincoat did the rest. The girl had lost her front teeth, and she didn't or couldn't open her eyes for the 20 minutes I spent interviewing her. But I could hear her clearly enough. Good quotes, too. Or at least they would be after I'd polished them up a bit. I was practically running to my desk when Bill Hardwick's gravelly voice grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and jerked me back into his office. Office, that's a laugh. One of 6 glass-sided boxes tagged onto the side of the open-plan converted wine warehouse where we worked. It was more like a squash court with furniture. Bill always reminded me of a hamster in a cage, looking in vain for his exercise wheel. I bought him a pack of gerbil nibbles once and left them on his desk, but he didn't find it funny. No sense of humour. But Bill Hardwick is one of Fleet Street's best news editors. Not that there was anything left of the street now that all the nationals had moved out to the East End. But you know what I mean. He looked like a balding boxer, squashed nose and all, but one who hadn't trained for half a dozen years and who'd developed a taste for the finer things in life, like high-cholesterol food and malt whiskey. He was sitting in his ergonomically designed desk. He was totally out of place in the high-tech office, a relic of the days of hot metal, linotype machines and 3 a.m. deadlines. "How did it go?" he growled. "Magic," I said, and I could feel myself grinning from ear to ear. I rushed the details past him and he raised his eyebrows. "Then get thee to a terminal, my son. Now." I turned to go when he added, "By the way, a call came for you while you were out. Switchboard put it through to my office. It was from Hong Kong." "Sally?" I said. "No," he replied, not looking up as he toyed with his page plans. "It was some copper. Wouldn't say what he wanted. Said he had to talk to you. You got a story going on in the exotic Far East?" "Chance would be a fine thing," I said, and left him to it. I slung my coat over the back of my own ergonomically designed chair and sat down heavily. I logged onto the system using my 3-fingered technique, first and second finger of my right hand, first finger left hand. It was okay for 1,000 words or so. Beyond that, and my hands began to ache. What the hell? When was the last time a tabloid hack had to write 1,000 words? There was an air of gloom hanging over the office, dampening the electricity that you normally find sparking through a newspaper. The technology was partly to blame, removing forever the clickety-click of typewriters and the whir of stories being pulled out to be thrust into the hands of waiting copy boys. Now it is all done electronically, and the only time paper is involved is in the final product. We'd been writing all our stories into the computer for about 4 years, and the subs were well used to working on the machines. But now we were trying to do full-page makeup on screen, and traditional newspaper skills were about as useful as a rubber sledgehammer.